I bought a new light. It is the Godox Knowled M600Bi. And to be honest, the FOMO hit me pretty hard because the sale was going on B&H. It was about $307 off. That was very specific. And it was like maybe a day before the sale ended. And I was like, we could really use this for the set next week. You know, there's 2 sets gonna be on. We could really use this. So I'm just gonna do it. So I bought it. And it just got shipped today. So, or it got delivered today. And that has been 4 days total, I think. Today's Monday. And the sale ended, I think, on Friday. And then it just got back on sale again. Same price. So, whatever. But then, like, if I was going to get it, it would have been next week. If it was this week, it would have been too late. So, because like I said, I could use it in a few days for a project. And then in 4 days on Friday. So, yeah. But it's cool. It's nice. I love it. If you don't know anything about it yet, it uses a V-mount to attach to the clamp instead of like Aperture's proprietary clamp system. So I kind of like that. Like if you don't have this super clamp that comes with the V-mount attachment, if you have another V-mount attachment thing that can hold a big ballast like this, then you just use that. Or you just buy it, a different one. Like for my F200, I just bought a different V-mount because I wasn't able to buy this, so I just bought a different one. Yeah. It's a light. It's as simple as possible. 600 watts. Technically, it's 720, I think. But there's some key differences about it that I like. The bones mount. I can't really explain it, but it's much tighter. Like much tighter. So it's kind of harder to take off. So when you have your accessory in it, there's really not much play. So I have to really push on there. As compared to like traditional bones mount. This is much tighter, and I don't know what it is, what they've done with it. I think it's just a stronger spring or something inside, I'm assuming. But there's that. The reason I don't have it on is because there's one disadvantage by that. I think it's a disadvantage. When you turn it off, you have to kind of let it cool down still. So the fans still run. And I don't know how long it needs to cool down. The screen goes off, so it doesn't tell you like it's cooling down for this long. Maybe it can. I don't know if I can change it or not, but I can't tell. I just have to guess that it's still on. So, like if you unplug it right away, you might damage, the COB. So that's one disadvantage. That was mentioned in a lot of YouTube videos as well. So I kept that in mind, and I've told my gaffers that I was going to use that too. It's the box that came in. It's actually smaller than you might think. Yeah, it's the case. The case is pretty compact as well. I think I'm comparing it to the F200, which the case it seems large for a 2x2 light, matte light. Here's a reflector. Comes with this nice protective foam thing because when you put this light back, you have to insert the little junior pin thing in there. There's a very specific way of doing it, so that can be a disadvantage, but it depends on you. I don't think it's like a disadvantage because I don't think like if you don't get it in perfectly, that it's not gonna fit at all, or you can't figure it out, So it's fine. But the 600 watt. I'm with the big leagues now, yeah? Yeah. So here's how it needs to be packed up. the super clamp goes under here. So, and that's like a lot of space there. So you can put a bunch of other stuff in there. But here's the reflector. And like I said, the little dringer pin mounting area has to go in the reflector so it can fit. And the handle has to stick out over here because it can't stick out over here. So there'll be like tests and trials of switching it back and forth to see which way fits the best. But the handle has to go on the bottom, so that's one thing to keep in mind. And you can't really make a mistake when you do it. Like, there's only one real way of doing it. Then you put this divider pad here that will help protect it a little more, so it doesn't fly. And the cables go in here, so let's use this cable first. I kind of have to wrap it in this way, it feels like. First off, the fact that it's memorized that way already. This one's kind of memorized to be more circular already, so that's fine, that's cool. But then there's where it looks like a very specific way of wrapping it so it can fit properly. So that's kind of a bummer because if you know anything about cables, you know, you should wrap it as best you can in a certain way. So, but yeah, the little cap here, very strong, metal reinforced, it's nice. They also give us a little safety cable here, but there's no like carabiner or anything, so I don't know what it'll go with. So, but that's it. That's the case. All right, I want to talk a little bit about something I discovered when I tried to put this Fresnel onto the 600. This Fresnel is a FLS 8. It's actually not designed for the 600 watt. But then like you would think it could fit still. It's Bones mount, right? But the way it's designed is the Bones mount is actually recessed in a little bit from the Fresnel. And if you try to put it on the 600 here, it will go in the mount. If I can find it. But it won't go in all the way because this part is hitting this part of the light, of the fixture, and therefore we can't use this with it. So I find that kind of stupid / sucks. I would imagine I can use this for now with that, regardless of like anything else. I know, like I said, this isn't designed for that, and they have a specific Fresnel design for the 600 watt. But I would prefer if everything can actually fit in there, because like I can't imagine this won't be a limitation in that sense. But that's something to note. If you're buying a 600 watt, maybe you need to buy the Fresnel that is designed for it as well. So here's a pretty quick comparison on the case size for the 600s of each brand. So Godox is a little bit shorter. I would say it's about 1.5 inches shorter than Aperture's. This is the 600D, so I don't know if the 600X case is different. But it's still got the handle, still have the pulling out handle so you can wheel it around. Width-wise, I'm pretty sure the Godox is a little bit thinner. So I think in the end, Godox saves a little bit of space on how they did their setup. Lengthwise, I guess the Aperture is a little shorter. Try to line it up as best I can here. Yeah, it looks like that. So not much to compare really. But I will say I feel like the 600D is heavier. I don't know. That might just be me. I have no idea. But they're the same components in there. So this gigantic case here is what the 1200 came in from Lens Rentals. And that's heavy. Like, that's heavy. That's all I can say. Oh, my crate is like kind of breaking. That's okay. It's a cheap crate. But yesterday we had some issues. And we've been having like some issues with it. First off, some of it's just like we're just dumb, right? We put gels around the reflector, and then it melted the gel. The center's gone, and then so we, put the gels on a C-stand, and then put it away from the light a little bit. So that helped. And then yesterday, I don't know why I did. I think it's old stingers, but we went to move the light and we tried to unplug it, and it was stuck, like really, really stuck. Two people pulling on the cables, you cannot get it out. So my gaffer, he had to like destroy the stinger to pull it out because we weren't going to destroy the plug here. Even though it's easily fixable, probably, we weren't going to destroy it. So we're like, okay, this light has caused us some issues, and we're going to retire it for now. Yes, we weren't using the right stingers, probably, like it's not rated for high temperatures or whatever. And it's probably an old stinger. But then, like, we're noticing, like, where it was plugged in, like, that stinger part would be pretty hot. My gaffer said he grabbed it and he pulled it out and he immediately let it go because it was that hot. So we're like, we're not going to risk it anymore. So we're just retiring this. We don't need it anyways for today. So, like, it's a good thing. Yesterday, we were able to manage with the two 600s. So, which is fine. And then we had the 300 to complement that outside as well. When it got dark. So 300 is like actually pretty bright. As well as the 200 as well. We actually turned out to like 20% on a certain window. So that goes to show, if you're gonna get high power lights, I think you gotta prepare for it. It's not just like another like, oh yeah, I have attachment for it. Aside from the Fresnel thing being an issue of both of these, like, you have to know that it's high power lights. So you have to tell the crew that you're running high power lights. Don't plug anything in, stuff like that. Otherwise, you could blow a circuit, and that could be dangerous. It can not blow and start fire. So, but yeah, adventures of lighting. And if you're a seasoned gaffer and you've used the RE lights back in the day, the tungsten lights, like, that's when you really know how to manage power, because like that takes up way more power. Like a 600 watt equivalent tungsten light is like way less power than that. So, and we'll be running that like 1Ks, 2Ks all around. So we have an advantage with the LEDs. It's giving us opportunities that we don't really have. So be happy.